Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lionel, and today we have a very special person with us today who's going to do an amazing interview with us. He is the voice actor for WWE 2K19 MyCareer Mode, AJ Kirsch. Say hello, AJ.
Hey man, thanks for having me on. I appreciate being here.
No problem, no problem. I just want to say, incredible thanks to you for taking time out of your day for making this happen, and you want to get into it?
Let's dive in, man.
Alright, so this first person has two questions, so I'm going to tell you them one by one, and then, you'll answer one by one. Okay, and his name's Nick, and he firstly asked, why is there no female career this year, with the women's evolution being a key feature for real-life WWE?
Yeah, I wish I had the answer to that, and just to kind of set the stage, if there are any more, what's in, what's not in questions, a lot of those details were kept secret even from me. Beyond MyCareer Mode in 2K19, I'm actually very unfamiliar with 2K19 specifically. In fact, I haven't even played it yet, so there are some people that are posting content on YouTube and posting podcasts that have actually had more experience with the game than I have. So unfortunately, I do not have an answer for you, but I, for one, would love to see the option to, select a female competitor and progress through MyCareer Mode. I think the time has definitely come, if not somewhat overdue.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, because I would definitely love to see that as well.
Sure.
Yeah. And his second question is, will career mode be non-repetitive? Well, obviously you don't know that because you haven't played it, but I'm just going to continue saying that will career mode be non-repetitive after the first year? Because from personal experience as well, because after the first year in WWE 2K18 MyCareer Mode, we literally just had tag matches just all the time because we had no view or anything. So basically, will it be non-repetitive? So will we still get high-profile matches?
Right. Well, as far as the work that I was involved with the motion capture and voiceover, the story kind of starts when you're a struggling independent wrestler on the indies, and it ends. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but it ends on the main roster. Beyond that, what you do with MyPlayer is up to you. But from what I hear, it takes about 12 hours to finish the MyCareer Mode. So that leads me to believe, don't quote me on this, but that leads me to believe that after you finish MyCareer Mode, that's where the official story ends, as far as the particular story that MyPlayer is involved with. Now, I'm sure there's going to be more to do. I mean, between Towers mode and between Universe and just all these other modes, there's far more than just the MyCareer that you can use your created superstar to play through. But to the best of my knowledge, the official MyCareer story ends. Again, I'm not gonna. I'm choosing my words very carefully because I don't want to spoil anything. But it ends on the main roster.
Yeah. So obviously, quite a lot happens in between that because 12 hours content means.
Oh yes, if you've checked out the MyCareer trailer, I mean, there's Zombie Triple H. You take a trip to the multiverse with Matt Hardy. You end up on the Wyatt compound. There is a whole hell of a lot going on with MyCareer. It is not just win the Royal Rumble and go to WrestleMania. No, this is a fully fledged out story.
So, the House of Horrors, Matt Hardy's Waking Universe, and Bray Wyatt's house. I'm presuming there's a playable exhibition as well.
That I don't know. Again, I have not played the any version of the game, let alone the final version of the game. But we won't It comes out this Friday, October the 5th, Deluxe Edition and the Woo Edition if you pre-ordered that. And then, of course, the Standard Edition comes out Tuesday the 9th, so you don't have long to wait to find out.
No, only a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, these next two questions are, again, by a different person, but two questions from the same person. Okay?
Okay.
And it's not really about my career, but it's like what you did for it, like voice capture and motion capture.
I'll share as much as I'm at liberty to.
Yeah, okay. So, his first question is, what was the hardest part about being, like, a voice actor for you personally?
Let's see. The hardest part about being a voice actor, I guess, is to imagine the environment that I'm in, because we shot at the motion capture studio in Northern California, and it really is just like a big gray box. Like it looks like the size of like a basketball court, and there are cameras everywhere, and they have a few things to give you some clues as to the environment that you're in. Like they actually had a ring built, an official WWE ring was in there. But beyond that, it was like, okay, so over there's the entrance, the crowd's over here. We set up this little barricade over here. In the scenes where I was coming out of my van, it wasn't a van. It was just like a door, a van door that was like rigged together out of PVC pipe. So, you definitely had to use your imagination to put yourself in the environment that the scene was taking place. But there were some monitors around the staging area, so it's like, here's at least what the walls of your environment look like. Like this is where you can be walking in this direction, but don't walk any further than over here. So not a lot of guidelines as far as the environment we were in. So just putting ourselves in that environment, I'd say, was the biggest challenge.
And
in the game, it looks amazing. Like in the game, I'm coming out of my van, or I'm in a locker room, or I'm in the ring cutting a promo. But the only physical object that was actually there was the ring. Everything else we had to pretend like it was there.
Yeah, and obviously, like trying to perceive the character as well. You got to think about that as well, surely.
Right, and unfortunately, I wasn't actually doing the voiceovers in person with Braun Strowman or Triple H or Matt Bloom or any of the other 26 voices that have voiced their actual characters in 2K19. So, there were other actors there that were standing in for those characters. So I just had to imagine that the person standing in front of me was Braun Strowman or Triple H or whoever.
Yeah, that was about a question later on as well. So I guess you kind of answered that one as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, his second question is, what were some of your favorite lines that you recorded? Just anything in general.
One of them
without spoiling.
One of them ended up in the trailer when Braun Strowman's like, "You mean victim?" It's like, "How do you want to die tonight?" And then I was just like, "I'd like to live if that's okay with you." So I just thought that was a lot of fun. There is, let's see, I gotta again choose my words carefully because I don't want to reveal a spoiler. But later on in the game, once you progress to NXT, you and your tag team partner have the option to invade NXT as, and I want to tell you who it is. I had to stop myself real quick. But 3 very famous tag teams, one of which actually, I'm not sure if they ever tagged together. They probably have somewhere in the depths of WWE history, but they were never that, it was never a featured tag team. In fact, they feuded pretty fiercely back in the day. But anyway, I had the chance to kind of mimic and impersonate some of the most famous WWE superstars of all time. So, any wrestling fan has grown up impersonating, any number of different WWE superstars. So that was just a lot of fun for me to, do my best, fill in the name here, impression, and have that land in the game. And then also my forte in my experience in independent wrestling has always been, well, not always been, but ever since Tough Enough has been cutting promos. So just the fact that I was able to stand in a WWE ring, hold a microphone, and cut a promo, cut several promos, really. I was very much in my element. I was very confident. I feel like they all came off well. And based on the feedback I've received so far on social media, people are digging it. I want to hear what you have to say, by the way. Like, I want to hear your thoughts. So if you're on social media, you can find me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/I am AJ Kirsch. Twitter @AJ Kirsch, which is KIRSCH. And Instagram is also @AJ Kirsch. So find me, tweet me, post on my Facebook wall. Tell me what you think so far. When the game comes out, tell me what you think too. I'm still a fan. I'm still a wrestling fan. So I want to know what the other fans think of my work in WWE 2K19.
Yeah, I'll even link all of AJ's social media in the description down below, so you can all go check that out as well. Tell them what you thought about WWE 2K19 MyCareer Mode, because it's obviously the first time they've ever done something like this, so they want to know what you think.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing, like 2K Games, they've made it clear to me that, they're watching, they're listening. So if you send something my way, tag me, tag WWE Games, and use the hashtag WWE 2K19.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then the next question comes from Hiya, I'm Random, and he asks, it's obviously one that trying to get you to spoil it, but obviously you won't.
Well, I'll spoil as much as I can. So, I know people are eager to hear what's going on, and I don't want to deny them, but at the same time, there are certain things I can and cannot say. So I'll do my best.
Yeah. So basically, like, you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed.
Right.
Yeah. So, and he asks, are there like multiple paths that you can go down, or is it just like a set story, like having the option to turn heel during the story, or just remain a face?
You're given choices throughout my career about match types and certain decisions along the way. So, if you make different choices throughout my career, you're going to get at least different cutscenes, because for every choice that we had in the game, we had to record, 2 or 3 different promos and results and answers and match types, stipulations, things like that. So, the story itself starts and ends in pretty much the same place, but how you get there is up to you. There are alliances, there are betrayals, there's deception. There are matches where the odds are stacked against you, and the story could change based on if you win or lose. So it's definitely, there's not one way to play through the story. Every decision you make has an impact on how the story is told.
So it's like you have a choice, and your choice can affect what happens later on.
Correct. And so, like, sometimes the choice you make doesn't have an impact on what you do. Like, again, if you go back and look at the MyCareer trailer, it doesn't matter what match type you pick when you're talking with Braun Strowman. I think the line is, "I can't believe you thought I was going to let you pick what match you were going to have tonight." Something like that. So it's like, sometimes you're given the option and, there's a swerve in there, and it's like, actually, it doesn't matter. And sometimes what you think might be the smallest, most insignificant choice could alter the story dramatically. So, put careful thought into the decisions you make along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously, yeah. Next question actually comes from me. And
oh, great.
And and so, like, we've seen how important many changes were to my career this year compared to last year and the year before. Like,
right.
Yeah, and like my personal experience with my career from WWE 2K18 was that I never really used the seamstress, and that was at every single show I was at. And now this year, according to what my career notes said, that the seamstress can give you attribute boost. So I was wondering for you, like, how important do you think that feature is for, like, the personality of the character and like to be able to make custom shirts for your character as well and get attributes for them.
Well, the level of detail with 2K19 is just unlike anything that's come before it, which I think can be said for every new 2K game that's come out, or really every new WWE game that comes out, because, Create a Superstar has been a staple in all pro wrestling games for, God, almost 20 years at this point. Like, I remember when WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy came out. It was just like, oh my God, there's so much to do. I thought there was so much to do back then. But just the sheer level of detail that you can dive into with 2K19 just boggles my mind. Like, I don't even... I think I would have to set aside like an entire weekend and not sleep to be able to set up the kind of detail that I would want to with my custom superstar. So there's no shortage of things that you do to make it just right. I think it depends on how you like to play the game. Like, for me, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So if I have the option to tweak something exactly how I want it, I'm going to take the time to tweak it exactly how I want it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not the most patient person, so I just want to play the game as well. So, but at least, it's up to you. Like, there are a bunch of different features in 2K19 that it's like, I see a lot of people kind of get bent out of shape about the big head mode, for example. And it's like, you don't have to play big head mode if you don't want to. It's just something fun that just makes, that's just silly and good for a laugh. So it's like, if you want to take the time to explore big head mode and check out the detail in the space of the WWE Superstars, which is worth it in my opinion because it is pretty unbelievable, then do it. If you want to take the time to customize, the slightest little detail with your creative wrestler, then do it. But you also have the option to just push a button and have a randomly generated creative superstar pop up and off you go. So the more choices you're given, I feel like the more power the player has. And 2K19 puts just all the power in the player's hands.
Yeah, so that obviously changes like how this year compares to last year, by the fact that this one's like way more advanced.
Right. It's been the Creative Superstar and MyCareer specifically have been overhauled in, I think a lot of people will consider, all the right ways.
Yeah, so like core creators like Defrat and that lot will have to like what you've done for Creative Superstar this year, and assuming like with last year you can import your own images. I'm doing that still there.
Again, I cannot confirm nor deny that. That is a detail again that was, that it was kept in that huge pile of other details that was not revealed to me. So I don't want to say yes and then have it not happen, but if it's something that allows the player to further customize their character, I would think, I don't know for sure, but I would think it would be included this year as well.
Yeah, the only reason why I said because it was in 2K16, I believe, 2K17 and 2K18, so that's why I think that it might persist on.
It sounds like it's not going anywhere. It sounds like that's a keeper.
Yeah, because it'll give more customization to the character as well.
Right.
Yeah. Alright, so next question is quite a simple one. It comes from Omega Jackson, and he asks, would you like GM mode to return to the game?
Say that again?
It comes from Omega Jackson, and he asks, would you like GM mode to return to the game?
Ooh. I'm going to say yes, just because, again, I feel like the more options that the player has to really dive into the WWE universe, ultimately the more fun the game is and the more replay value you get out of the game. But again, there's just already so much to do. There's so much to do in 2K19 between the level of customization with your creative superstars we touched on just a few moments ago, to MyCareer, to Universe, the Towers mode, which is an all-new feature, which, we can, I don't know if you've got any questions about Towers, but we can address that as we get further along. But there's already so much to do in WWE 2K19 that if they can fit the GM mode in there, then great. But 2K Games is only working with so much, so much data, so much space. So eventually, it sucks to say it, but sometimes certain things have to go. And if the WWE universe clamors to have GM mode back, like I said, 2K games, WWE games, they're listening. They want to hear feedback. So if you want GM mode back, then let them know.
Yeah, because obviously I would like it back as well, because obviously with Paige,
Sure.
for Baron Corbin, yeah, it just like adds another element to see how you would run WWE compared to real life.
Absolutely, it's another way that just WWE is, and that entire, I hate to keep using the term, but that entire universe is just a lot of fun. There's really no limit to what you can do, and there's no limit to really the stories that they can tell either.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And yeah. Also. Right. Next question comes from Lieutenant Raven.
Okay.
And this one, you kind of answered earlier with the voice cap stuff. And he asks, what was it like to record with some of the mega superstars that you've looked up to in the past, such as Triple H and other WWE stars? And did you legit feel intimidated by Mauricio and Joe recording session? Well, obviously you answered the second part of that question already.
Right, yeah. I wish I could have done it. And 2K was even talking about sending me down to LA, where I think a handful of the superstars were going to be, so we could record, like, at least in the same booth at the same time to get our natural reactions to each other. Sadly it didn't happen, but it is going to be quite a thrill just to watch my character interact with the computer-generated models of Triple H and Matt Bloom and Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan and Bayley and Charlotte and Finn Balor and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I mean, like I said earlier, 26 WWE superstars did voiceovers for the game. They didn't hire stand-ins or actors to voice their parts. So it's just another example of how this is easily the most immersive and engaging MyCareer story that 2K has ever released.
Yeah. Right. And this next question actually comes from me again, because we didn't have that many questions coming. So
hey, it's your show. It's your show, man. You call the shot.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, imagine if old talent for like the Attitude Era were wrestling now with the current talent. Like, what would be like your dream match?
My dream match, as in like match I would want to see in 2K19 or see period.
See period.
Ooh.
And
well,
also
two.
in 2K19.
Yeah, there's two, and one of them can't happen in 2K unless you create the superstar. I think it's.
Saying both?
What's that?
Saying both?
Well, you can create it. Well, one's going to be in there. The other one's not. It's a bummer that we never saw Austin versus Hogan. Obviously the two probably biggest icons in the history of wrestling. They're both the faces of their respective eras, and they weren't crossing paths long, but I just really wish we got Austin Hogan. And, because of the controversy surrounding Hogan, he wasn't in the game this year. I think I remember reading that he was recently reinstated to the WWE Hall of Fame, so that I hope he's back in the 2K franchise in 2K20. But the match that you can play in 2K19, which I think is also just a travesty that it never happened, is Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. And it's just, I get goosebumps every time I just think about the possibility of what those two could do together. Just the promos and the build-up and the story they could tell and just the match itself. I mean, that might be if those two were to ever step foot in the same ring again, I don't think you could find another combination that has more charisma than those two put together. I just feel like there is, Shawn is retired. I'm really happy that he's sticking to his word to The Undertaker and staying retired. I think it's a testament to his character. But man, am I just bummed out every time I think that the world missed out on Shawn Michaels versus The Rock.
Yeah.
What about you?
Presuming, I'm gonna mix up a little bit. Say like The Rock, yeah, from like olden day Rock, and current talent. So like maybe even Roman Reigns, Rock versus Roman Reigns, family versus family.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe even for the Universal Championship, you know. And then obviously one other one I will have is pre-order bonus for MyCareer versus AJ Styles.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Cool thing about it is you can do it in WWE 2K19.
Yes, you can. In fact, if you pre-order and it's not too late, you can get Rey Mysterio and Ronda Rousey and play 4 days early. So let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head. I think it's wwe.2k.com/pre-order. And you still got a couple days. So, well, depending on when this interview drops. We're recording on Tuesday, but you still got time to pre-order. So get on it if you haven't gotten on it yet.
Yeah, I'm hoping for this to come out on Wednesday. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally, you've got one more day.
Yeah.
One more day to pre-order. So make sure you pre-order, get your pre-order bonuses, and if not, get the Sound Edition.
That's right.
Yeah. So I've got a thing of like question now. So Towers Mode. Yeah. So like obviously will it be just for the $1 million challenge, or will it be like Holly around in 2K do like different events involving towers?
So Towers is a mode where it's like, if you've ever played Mortal Kombat, like way back in the day, where it's like you choose your path. You've got your in Mortal Kombat, it was like novice, moderate, expert, and then legendary or something like that. So Towers are modes where you pick a series of matches or a series of challenges that meet specific guidelines. Like, for example, I think there's a tower where it's like there's no running you can't run in any of the matches. I think there's one where you can't throw a punch. It all has to be grappling moves. And of course there are towers that mimic different careers. Like, there's some old kind of NWA stuff back in there with Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. Of course, there's the AJ Styles $1 million challenge tower, which is not easy, by the way. It's a gauntlet. That one in particular is a gauntlet style tower. Your health does not recharge, so you gotta be super careful, super defensive. You've got to play through the entire tower, and then you face that solid gold AJ Styles. He is at the tail end of that tower. You beat him, then you actually cut a promo in real life on AJ Styles, telling him how you're going to beat him for the $1 million. They're going to pick the 4 best promos and then fly them to WrestleMania in New Jersey, and one of them is going to play AJ Styles in WWE 2K with $1 million on the line. So no pressure or anything. No pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely not a once in a lifetime experience.
Absolutely. I mean, not just do you have the chance to win $1 million, but you're talking about being flown to WrestleMania, playing AJ Styles in WWE 2K19. He's on the cover. You're playing the cover star of 2K19. But yeah, if you win, you also get $1 million.
Yeah, so no big deal.
Yeah, just another Sunday afternoon. It's whatever.
Yeah, you're totally not WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, imagine if you were just a normal player, and you didn't do anything for W2K19, and you see that Towers Mode gets announced, and you see that you could face AJ for $1 million. What would your reaction to that be?
Oh my God! Like, at which moment? When I beat the tower, or when I actually face AJ at WrestleMania, which is weird for me to say because it's my name too.
Say both if you want.
I mean, I'm pretty good at cutting promos, so I wouldn't mind cutting a promo on AJ Styles and telling him how I'd win that $1 million. But like, I would, what I would do if I were playing AJ Styles for $1 million? I would have to forget that $1 million are on the line because the pressure would just be too much. I don't think I'd freak out, but I'd be extremely hard on myself and get very much in my own head, which, if you're a performer, the last thing you want to do is get into your own head as you're performing. You just want to be in the moment. So, I'd have to shut that out. But as I said, it's a gauntlet-style tower. Your health does not recharge. So just if anybody's able to beat the $1 million tower, my hat's off to you.
Alright, so, yeah. So, that was all the questions, and hopefully all you guys watching now got a little bit more insight on WWE 2K19. And, yeah. So, thank you to AJ for making time out of his day to interview.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking time to interview me and to pass along those questions. And once again, I encourage everybody to reach out on social media. Facebook.com/IamAJ Kirsch. Twitter and Instagram are both at AJ Kirsch. That's AJKIRSCH. Let me know what you think when the game comes out. I'm very accessible on social media. I'm on it way too much as it is. So if you reach out to me, if you tag WWE Games, if you use the hashtag WWE 2K19, there's a very good chance I'm going to see it. So let me know what you think, WWE Universe.
Yeah. Right, so that'll be it for today, guys. Check out MyCareer Mode, which will be hopefully uploaded next week, a day or two after the release of the Standard Edition, as I'm cheap and poor, and I can't afford to get the Deluxe Edition or the Weird Edition, but I can get the Standard Edition. So
yeah, you can.
Yeah, I pre-ordered like every WWE game for like the past 5 years. So
good. Well, then you tell me too. You tell me what you think of 2K19. Being as close to the process as it is, I'm super excited for it to come out. Seeing all the excitement on social media has me even more excited. I think people are going to love it.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys will like MyCareer Mode and check it out, and don't forget to tell AJ and WWE Games, well, 2K, what you think of it. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. And I'll catch you all next week. Goodbye.